Hi, this is Kerry Artak with Wicked Stocks, bringing you your daily Tesla report for Wednesday, May 14th, 2025. Let's take a look at the charts. I am going to start with this one, daily chart. We settled last Friday above the 295.39, a channel top. That was part of a range of resistance that we clearly pushed above. There was also a longer-term horizontal channel top that we settled above the very same day that indicated 364.29 speed line resistance as a 2 to 3 week target. So we're in the middle of that, and we're about 60% of the way there already. On the way up, there is this 343.07 channel top. We came very close to testing that on Tuesday, well suited to contain daily highs. We could fall away from here. I don't have any problem. Well, first and foremost, if you're a 3 to 5 day swing trader and you're still long, this is a good area to take at least some profits because we can fall away from here, possibly back to the 295.39 area. Actually, it would be this trend line. If 343.07 holds nicely, we fall back to what is then new channel support. That looking here, I'm going to say is around, 280 or something and climbing. But we'll use 295.39 as the immediate objective anyway. Once we test 343.07, that is possible. Now, this is a counter trend sale. So if you short sale 343.07, it is a counter trend move. But nonetheless, I don't have a problem with it. If you're an aggressive swing trader and you're adept at these kinds of trades, this is it right here, 343.07. But also know, keep in the back of your mind that we're expecting 364.29 as a 2 to 3 week target. And if we push through 343.07 today, it is the low 350s that is in reach. And as I've been saying the last few days, the low 350s are meaningful in their own right. 50% upside retracement from the December high against the April low is 351.39. And 350.97 is this former 2-year channel top that still has bearing, still has strength to contain weekly buying pressures. I've also been saying, and you can see up here, this should actually be a 4-star multi-week resistance at 364.29. Should not be 3 stars. 364.29, descending 2/3 speed line over the next week converges with the low 350s anyway. This is your range right here. And now I'm talking to not only 3 to 5 day, but 3 to 5 week swing traders, because from here we can fall back to some variation of channel support that we presently find. Do we have it anywhere? No, not really. I don't have it shown, but it would be a meaningful bearish rotation. Let's just say back into the 270s perhaps. I don't have it in front of me. So if we happen to test 350.97 today, just know that it is the beginning of a short sale or a long liquidation. If you're still long above 295.39, you're taking full profits in the low 350s to mid 360s, narrowing daily. You're short at the low 350s. And anticipation of bearish rotation back to 295.39 or lower within several weeks. I don't, up in this vicinity, have any interest in going long Tesla unless we close above 364.29. And if we do, over the next week or two, settle above this important descending 2/3 speed line, then I would anticipate, probably by the end of the year, this 5-year channel top at 513.36, which we came very close to testing back in December. This was an objective at one point, if you recall, following the November buy signal above the 2-year channel top. Anyway, I digress a bit. So I hope I explained the upside pretty well. As 343.07 climbs, by the end of the week, it's actually converging already with the low 350s. So it's like a day-to-day nuance, but for today, 343.07 respectable resistance, assuming we open below it, and below which we can fall back to, well, we've got several levels lined up. We have 319.02 all day long. Now this 3/8 upside Fibonacci from the December high to the April low did not behave very well in terms of containing anything, but I do still think because these can actually hold again to the downside just as an intraday support level. And if we break 319.02, 307.04 would be in reach. I don't expect either scenario. What I do expect is a test of 343.07 and then possible sort of hesitation and even an easing back as we continue through the rest of the day perhaps and into tomorrow. That is a scenario that I think is quite possible. But what I also know, while I say that, and I'm talking short term for the next few days, I also keep on the other side of my brain the fact that we have a 3 to 5 week, 2 to 3 week objective in the low 350s to mid 360s, narrowing gradually into the lower 350s over the next week, week and a half of trade. This is the big picture objective, able to contain buying through the month of June. And 343.07 will be converging with all this anyway over the next 3 to 5 days. So once again, closing above 343.07, we test this area this week. And if we close above 364.29 in the coming days, then yes, the 513.36 5-year channel top likely by the end of the year. But until then, this is the area we could top out at into the third quarter even, which begins July 1st and fall away again. What would be the objective? The initial objective would be kind of the mid 290s here, but you could find other locations in the upper 280s. This congestive area here, this series of highs, upper 280s within 2 to 3 weeks, possibly even lower as we continue over the 3 to 5 week time frame. We will determine a downward pivot point into the third quarter, and I don't know exactly where that will be. We need to see where the high is so that we can construct the new channel formations and the new speed lines coming up that, if violated, would tip the market south to long-term support that I can show right. No, I can't show it anywhere. Oh, yes, I can. Here it is. Yeah, this is our long-term support, and we're not going to see this anytime soon, but I'm just kind of articulating kind of the big picture that if we were to fall away from the low 350s to mid 360s and fall back into the upper 280s within 2 to 3 weeks, which I think is the likelihood, we will by that point in time have determined what support is coming up that, if violated, would then indicate a long-term support on that weekly chart, 5-year channel support in the upper 150s to low 160s. But I don't want to spend a lot of time there. Where I do want to spend a lot of time is here. And this is the image I really want to leave you with. I want to also mention that on Tuesday, wickedstocks.com put out 2 stock picks. One in EQT, which is an energy firm, and the other in Wingstop, that is a food franchise in the United States. Both of them on the edge of meaningful buy signals that can play out well into June, even into July. We would, if we got the buy signals, anticipate at least a 20% move on each. You want to check them out, go to wickedstocks.com and take advantage of our 5-day free trial, where you'll also see our daily triple Q and our daily SPY analysis, weekly Apple stock analysis, etc., etc. So go to wickedstocks.com and set that up for yourself. I will, of course, be back tomorrow with Thursday's Tesla, and you have a great evening.